How's it going, everyone? And as always, welcome back to Continues to Tick. So life is a long game. Dividend investing is a long game. Both require patience, long-term planning, and short-term acknowledgement, and of course, self-motivation. Now with that, I must ask, how has your dividend investing journey been for you? This is an individual journey after all, no matter how we slice it, but watching others makes us feel less alone, does it not? And although I don't want to necessarily dive into the endless possibilities of our personal life's journey, at least not in today's video, maybe one day, we do have time here actually. For simplicity though, we'll just stick to the investing journey for now. But just know that I really do believe they are so similar in many ways. Our life's path, that is, and the years it takes to build a solid dividend portfolio. And a lot of what you learn in one can directly transfer to the other. For dividend investing, at least for me, the journey has been long. It's been systematic. It's been fun. It's been drawn out. It's been forgotten at times. And it's been lived through at times when I envision the finish line. But really, I think to myself, will there ever be a distinct finish line? It's in those moments when I realize, at least for me, that that's likely to be a challenge I can foresee already. Sometimes I answer that question in the same way I view happiness in my life, as to how that emotion may seem to be rather transient. The closer I feel to happiness sometimes, the more I realize that contentment is actually what I'm after, as contentment to me is more fulfilling, longer lasting, and boring. But I'm realizing more and more actually, as I age, that boring is good. Those are the times in our lives when we're neither happy nor sad. Nothing crazy in our life is happening. And man, don't we miss those boring times when we're in the thick of things, really in a battle with life, with ourself, getting smacked around, because we all know, or have found out, life will smack us around at the most inconvenient of times. Happiness to me is short-lived, often momentary, raises like a sail in the wind with the purpose, until it dips back down, disappearing tucked away like a cloud behind a mountain, waiting for the next time, waiting for the right moment to make a next appearance. And well, how does this all actually relate to my end goal of dividend investing? Well, my end goal, as I can only suppose many of ours is also, is to build a future I'm financially proud of, financially free from, having built the ability to own my time back, do what it is with my time, on my own time, and no longer having to work due to need, but rather for want. You see, I know myself, and I know this is my end goal, thinking of it today. So in the meantime, I work for it, waiting patiently, working silently, for the moment in the future as to when I eventually will hope to reach this stage. And I relate it to the happiness analogy I mentioned earlier, as I wonder, do we ever reach a state of happiness? Similarly in that, will I ever reach a stage of financial freedom? What will happen to me when I reach it? What if I realize I could have had that same feeling before, not having to wait so long? What if I realize once at that point of success that the best time was actually in preparation, partaking in the story building, if you will, living through the journey, maybe finding out actually the process was better than the destination? What if I realize that the freedom was actually in the planning, and that the joy was actually in the imagining? It's hard to know. I say this all to explain Dividend investing has taught me a lot in life, and it continues to do so. I believe it's more than what the money goal will provide me. The greatest gift I'm realizing is the mentality, the ability to follow a journey, the ability to remain disciplined with such a large goal and enjoy the process. And the key here is enjoy the process. And it's more than just the end goal. And I hope it can also provide these learning lessons for you all as well. Money is great, and I want it. I want it at the end of the day, and I can't lie to you or myself about that. I want to have a day when I never have to worry about money ever again, because I just feel like life would be so much better in a state of being without having to worry about it. But this strategy has taught me so much more than what I initially thought it would be providing. It's taught me many great traits I can use and carry and translate with me to other avenues of my life, such as strict discipline, self-management, increased goal tolerance. And it's through these lessons I started adding more and more to my life plate. I started working more on myself, further creating a person I'm proud of. I'm working out again, decided that I can actually complete a grad school program, started and continue to do couples therapy, working on my relationship. That way, in doing these things, when I reach my end goal, I'll be ready to handle it in whatever way it looks like. And even if I never reach it, I'll be ready for whatever comes my way, as I would have built myself up for any scenario. I don't want to wait for happiness, and I don't want to wait for financial freedom. I want to carry that with me in the building up of the best version of myself. Remember, keep growing in more ways than money. It's actually the most valuable. And now, having just tossed out the entire meaning of the universe on video, just kidding. Now that's an exaggeration, right? I do believe though that we have earned ourselves a mind cleanser. So in saying that, how about a picture of my Bubbas? I got a lot of those. And dogs are the best. And now making way into the dividend portfolio review for last week. In my last week's video, we hit $50,000 in dividend portfolio size. And actually, we crossed the $51,000 mark, but here we are, still making moves. I know we were in a rough patch in the market, but it looks like the markets are waking up again, even if it is just for a moment. It's hard to say, but we continue onwards, and so does the dividend portfolio. As right now, we currently stand at $52,880.47, and this is on the all-time charts. And just zooming in a little closer here, you can see this is with a return of 38.19%, and this is with the total gain of $8,219.84. And looking down below here, this is with the market gain of $6,937.75. And we continue onwards with our earned dividends as well, now definitely past the $1,000 mark, inching closer to the $1,300 mark. And in speaking of last week's performance, let's take a look. We had a return of 2.03%, which equates to a total gain of $1,047.75. And I'm just curious, just taking a look at the last quarter. Let's kind of go back to roughly where, the year started. This was December 31st, January 3rd. So this patch right here, it was bumpy, it was rough, it was not fun. And if it was a representation of my mood, I wouldn't have any friends. As you can see, it was just up, down, over and over again. And just recently, as you can see here, from March 14th and beyond, we have been improving in market condition. I'll take it. And moving into the activity section here, I believe in my 50K portfolio review, I didn't cover any of the dividend payouts, but for simplicity of video flow, we'll just kind of start with this last week's review. But just know, I did deposit $500 just like I always do. That hasn't changed. And we did have a snowball here of $36 and then another of $15. So just know the consistency is always there, just in case you question it. I'm just kidding. You probably do. No, I'm just kidding again. But anyways, here we are actually starting on March 23rd, getting paid $76.11 by SPYD. It's a lot. That's probably my biggest amount ever from a dividend payout. But it is my high dividend ETF. And honestly, Interestingly enough, it's been one of my best performers in my portfolio, if you take a look. And then here we are also on March 23rd with our $500 deposit, just like we always do. It's our game plan. And we had a $5.66 snowball on that day. And then here we are getting paid on March 24th by VIG, $21.92. And then here we are on March 24th, getting paid by Nvidia. You can tell it's a growth stock, only getting paid 22 cents. And I should just rephrase that, a tech growth stock that happens to pay a dividend. But here we are on March 24th. So we had a $5 snowball here, but given that this was such a huge payout, also on the same day, on the following day, we had another snowball of $75.49. So a total of about an $80 snowball this past week. And here we are on Friday, March 25th, getting paid by Lockheed Martin Corp. $4.42. And the journey continues. I guess my point of this week's video, is just to share the idea that for me, the dividend investing journey is such a long journey. It's going to be one of the constants in my life moving forward. Whether I think about it prominently or have it working for me in the background, it's like a pillar. It'll always be there. And hopefully over time, given it such a large goal, I'll be able to reach it. I'm learning so much about life in this journey, and I'm learning so many great traits that can directly transfer in so many areas of my life. And that's the main point of this video. And in saying that, we did happen to make it through 7 days. So as you always know, I'll see you in another 7. And as always, be safe, be bored, and take care.